Okay, folks, we just took a little pause. I forgot. We built some baby racks a while ago. Tubs are too tight. We had a bad setup. This is all a learning curve and everything else. So what we did was take a good slot that we wanted to get a measurement, and we'll have spacer boards in here now that will get everything consistent. The other way, they're kind of, well, it's kind of a mess. So long story short is we got to pull all this apart. This is one baby rack. That piece will set on top of that piece and it'll all be one. There's room for 30 babies in there. But anyway, it's messed up, so we got to take it all apart and then do our spacers and re-drill everything in, screw everything in there. And anyway, give you a little quick minute. We set up the table saw, got our spacing here. Ooh, it's bright outside. Got our spacing there. I ripped those two boards, and then that's what we'll use to make sure that we space everything correctly and consistent, because they fit in there. Like this one fits in there real good, but you go down somewhere and they're all tight. That one's getting tighter. One of these was real bad. Like you had there it is. That's like super tight, so we can't even get the heat tape or nothing down there. So long story short is we messed up when we built this thing, so now we gotta redo it anyway. So there it is. Okay guys, here we go. Rack's all ripped apart. See, now we're gonna reuse the shelves. We just gotta bump things. I'm telling you, they're just a little bit too small. So we got the rack all ripped apart. This first one, it's ready to go back in, so we're just gonna we gotta re-drill our holes, re-countersink, all this stuff, and we'll get all them shelves back in, line everything back up, and then this one will be done. Alright, here we go. A couple of shelves are in now. You can kind of see what we're doing here. I got a spacer in here, and that gives us our shelf height with the little baby tub. Now granted, the thing is actually sitting upside down. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the whole thing is upside down. It's easier to build that way. So the tub will actually go in here like this when it's flipped back over, but then our spacers we've allowed for kind of easy movement all the way around. And like we said, this one here is a baby rack, so it'll have 3 tubs in it side by side like that, and that's how we get, and there's 5 shelves or something like that per rack, so it'll be a total of 30 by the time we get this whole thing built. And so that's where we're at right now. Okay, there it is, folks. One completed. We have everything right now. Well, it's not complete, but the shelves are back. Spacing is right. That's where we need to be with it. So now all we got to do is add the heat tape in the back here, put the back on, and we're pulling another one apart. I'll spin around here real quick. My mom's pulling that one apart. That's the bottom to the whole thing. So that's where I say all those shelves, they got to come out. We'll redo it, get the spacing correct. This one here sits on top of that one. The whole thing gets a back, then we get the helix on it, and a baby rack is complete. And that way we can hold 30 babies. They go 3 wide. Three baby tubs fit side by side. We'll get I'll shoot a video of that, or part of this clip will be of that. So three wide, and then it ends up 10 shelves deep, so 30 babies. So we're looking good. Alright, all the cutting, and we got it all together. The heat tape, you can see, is all put down there. Everything's soldered, covered back up with tape. 5 shelves. This is the bottom of the baby rack. So everything has come up. I'm getting ready to put these little holdbacks. They help hold the wire back for us, so everything stays, nice and neat and out of the way of the tub. So I'll just put 2 of them on each one, and then I'll get ready to put the back on. Just like that. I got all of them tied back with them little tie backs. I got, like I said, that's the bottom of the baby rack. I got Tanner doing the top of the baby rack. Say hi, Tanner. You're on YouTube. So he's doing that one, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay this one down and get ready to put the back on it. Okay, there it is. Got the backs on. That's the top and the bottom of the baby rack. If you remember, I still gotta drill some holes and mount a helix right there to control this hole. The baby rack will be all on its own helix, but all the wires, everything now, that's all tucked nice and neat in the back Tubs can get in and out of there with no problems. Got the back on there. Everything's good. So next step is to drill right there and mount the helix. Okay, there it is. Helix is mounted, and I know it's kind of a gaudy hole right there, but there's nothing you can do because the helix has a plug on the end of it, so you got to make a hole big enough that the plug can go through. But the helix is mounted. Our baby rack is finally complete. It's got the back on it and everything else. Let me back up. I shouldn't say complete. This black wire right here is a temperature probe. Trevor has to decide on what shelf. You kind of got to pick a random and put that on one of these, one of the heat tapes in the back. He knows which one he wants. He's got to look at the other racks inside. So a tiny hole has to be drilled in the back yet for the temperature probe to come out and touch the heat tape. That way the system knows when to call for heat based on one. But you have to strike a balance. It's my understanding, because of course at the bottom, if you put your temperature probe here and you hold this shelf at 90 degrees or whatever you want, of course this shelf is going to be a little cooler, and then if you go up top it's going to be a little hotter because the heat rises and everything else. So he's going to go look at what he's got in there already, and then decide where he wants to mount the temperature probe. But for the most part, this rack, this baby rack, is done, so we're good. Like I said, we can hold three tubs wide on one shelf, and there's 10 shelves, so we got room for 30 babies. So bring on the breeding season. Hopefully everything works out good. So that's pretty much it for the building of the baby snake rack. You know, like other videos, we got one where we're putting together an adult rack. It's kind of the same premise, just a little bit different. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up. There it is, the baby rack complete. So thanks for watching this. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, you can email us. Our email address is tcrballpythons@gmail.com. So if you have any questions on what we did, go ahead and give us an email. We'll answer you if we can. So thanks for watching.